1. Money obeys the mind of the master. Wealth is not a mystery to be solved, but a law to be mastered. It does not care for appearance, sentiment, or circumstance. It cares only for command. The man who commands his thoughts can command his income. Money obeys. It bows only to the one who understands that riches are not drawn through emotion, but through intention and internal authority. You will never out-turn your own sense of worth. You will never accumulate beyond what your inner vision permits. Therefore, before you ask for money, you must ask, who am I becoming? Most men chase money while the wise attract it. And what attracts it? Not idle wishing, but disciplined thinking. Money is not drawn to desperation. It is repelled by it. It flees from the man who sees it as his savior, but it finds home with the man who sees it as his servant. Until your mind commands, your hands will beg. Until your thoughts become a force, your pockets will remain a void. A man can labor endlessly and still remain poor if his mind is filled with confusion, envy, or limitation. But the man who trains his mind to see wealth, to speak wealth, and to expect wealth, he will find himself surrounded by opportunity where others see only defeat. The truth is that money follows order, and order begins with mental mastery. If your thoughts are scattered, your results will be as well. If your beliefs are weak, your results will be weaker. You must train your mind with the same intensity a warrior trains his body. Eliminate the clutter, remove the doubts, destroy the idea that wealth is for others and not for you. The man who refuses to be ruled by fear becomes a ruler in the realm of finances. There is a law as old as the earth itself. The man who believes he is poor will find 1,000 reasons to stay that way. The man who believes he is rich will create 1,000 ways to make it true. Every day, your mind writes checks your reality must cash. If you write poverty in thought, expect overdraft in life. But if you write prosperity in certainty, your bank account will eventually match the mental balance you carry. You are never truly broke unless you are broke in belief. A bankrupt man with rich thinking is only temporarily poor, but a wealthy man with bankrupt thinking is on the path to permanent ruin. You must begin to see yourself as a master over money, not a slave under it. Refuse to bow to the price tags around you, and instead, determine the price of your own value. Think with calmness, plan with precision, speak with authority, and most importantly, act as if the wealth is already yours. Not with arrogance, but with assurance, not with pride, but with power, the power that comes from knowing that wealth is a law and you have learned to master it. Every financial empire began with a single thought held long enough to become belief, belief strong enough to create a plan, and a plan acted upon until money had no choice but to arrive. Your financial life tomorrow depends on your mental life today. The question is not whether you can earn more, but whether you are willing to think more effectively, master the battlefield within, and the spoils of money will follow without question. Train your mind daily. Guard it hourly, refuse the poison of limitation. Do not speak against your own wealth and then wonder why it eludes you. Speak with discipline, think with structure, focus with obsession. Because in the final analysis, the only difference between poverty and prosperity is the quality and consistency of thought. And money obeys, not the wishers, not the worriers, but the mental masters who have declared with unwavering clarity, I was not born to beg. I was born to build. 2. Definiteness of purpose is the first law of riches. Nothing repels wealth more than confusion of purpose. The man who does not know what he wants from life will always settle for what life gives him by default. But the man who has fixed his mind upon a goal, clear, definite, and specific, will command riches like a general commands an army. The first law of riches is not hustle. It is not knowledge. It is not even talent. It is purpose. Without it, effort is wasted, energy is diluted, and wealth remains a distant mirage. You were not meant to live like a ship without a compass, tossed by the winds of chance and opinion. You were not created to wake up without aim, to chase without a target, to desire without decision. The moment you define your purpose, you declare war on mediocrity. The fog clears, the path opens, life stops being an accident and becomes a mission. And money, like all other resources, responds to the power of purpose. Too many men want to be wealthy, but cannot answer one simple question: why? Until your reason is clear, your results will remain unclear. Do you want wealth for status or for service? Do you seek money to escape pain or to expand your impact? The universe is not fooled by vague intention. It pays according to clarity. Be specific. Be deliberate. Be certain, because the moment you are definite in desire, the law of money begins to arrange people, opportunities, and events to serve your aim. A wandering mind is a poverty mind. A purpose-driven mind is a wealth magnet. Choose your aim like your life depends on it, because it does, and once chosen, refuse to negotiate. Refuse to bend. Refuse to drift. Let others chase 100 ideas. You chase one with the force of thunder. Let others dabble, you dominate. Let others hesitate, you execute. Let others live in reaction, you live in intention. The moment you commit to a single aim with unwavering focus, you gain access to hidden powers within and unseen forces without. Decisions become easier. Distractions lose their power. You no longer question if you'll be rich. You begin to ask when and how much, and not because you're arrogant, but because you're aligned. Purpose puts your entire being into harmony. Your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, and your time all begin to point in the same direction, like a compass locked on true north. Understand this: purpose is not just motivation, it is magnetism. When you are definite, people trust you more, ideas come faster, luck appears more often. Why? Because the world has always been looking for those rare individuals who know exactly where they are going. They are rare and they are powerful. Become one of them. Be the man whose goals are carved in steel, not scribbled in sand. Be the man whose purpose wakes him at dawn and drives him past exhaustion. There is no wealth without purpose. There is only movement without progress. You can grind for years and still be stuck if you lack direction. You can work harder than 10 men and still earn less than one with purpose. Because work without aim is struggle, but work with aim becomes strategic execution, and strategy always outlasts sweat. In this world, those with purpose will be served by those without it. The question is, which will you be? Plant your flag, decide your outcome, declare your vision, write it, read it, speak it. Obsess over it, and let every dollar you earn be a reflection of your clarity. Wealth is not attracted to motion. It is attracted to purpose. The man who drifts is doomed. The man who decides is destined. 3. Desire backed by faith is the seed of fortune. All wealth begins with desire, not mere wishing, not idle hoping. Not daydreaming while the clock ticks. No, real wealth is born from a burning, unrelenting, unstoppable desire. One so fierce it sears itself into the subconscious mind and begins to dictate every action, every decision, every thought. You will never become rich by accident. Fortune bows only to those who want it more than they want comfort, more than they want the approval of others, more than they want to remain the same. But desire alone is not enough. You must add the element of faith. Without faith, desire is just noise, loud but powerless. With faith, desire becomes a command. It is not enough to want something, you must expect it. The man who hopes may get lucky once in a while, but the man who believes consistently receives. The law of money has no interest in your wishes. It respects only those who dare to believe before they see, who walk as though they already possess what others are still praying for. You must speak as though you've already received it. You must act as though the outcome is already yours. Desire backed by faith means you do not shrink in the face of adversity. You do not slow down because others cannot see your vision. You do not pause for permission. You move because you know. You build because you believe. You press forward because you've already received the fortune in your mind, and the material must follow the spiritual in due time. Understand this. Money is energy, and energy follows belief. If your belief is weak, your financial reality will reflect that weakness. You must want wealth like a starving man wants food, like a drowning man wants air. But you must also believe with unshakable certainty that it is not just possible, it is inevitable. When desire and faith are fused, a chemical reaction takes place within the mind. You begin to operate on a higher frequency. Ideas begin to find you. People are drawn to you. The world starts to respond to your internal command. This is not superstition. It is law. Think of every great fortune ever built. At its root, you will find a man or woman consumed by an idea, possessed by a desire, and armed with faith so strong it could not be broken by failure, delay, or criticism. Those without desire and faith wait for conditions to be right. They wait for signs. They wait for validation. And so they wait forever. But the one who possesses burning desire and unwavering faith makes the conditions right. He does not wait for the door to open. He builds his own. You must condition your mind to believe in your own wealth. You must rehearse it, speak it, visualize it, and then step into it. And you must never let go. Faith is not something you turn on when it's convenient. It is a permanent fire that you guard against the winds of fear and the storms of doubt. Protect it with your life, because the moment you let fear steal your faith, your desire begins to decay. And without desire, you lose the fuel. Without faith, you lose the engine. You are what you desire, and you receive what you believe. That is the foundation of all wealth. Those who look around and measure their potential by current circumstances have already failed. But those who look within and measure their future by the strength of their inner belief have already won. The money will come. The opportunity will arrive. The doors will open, but only after desire and faith have done their work in the dark, where no one sees and no one claps and no one believes but you. Burn your excuses, starve your doubts, feed your desire daily, and grow your faith like it is the most important asset you will ever own, because it is, and when the two are combined, not even the laws of nature can deny a man his fortune for. Self-discipline commands the flow of money. Money is not loyal to talent alone. It does not bow to charisma. It does not care how many degrees you've earned or how long you've been trying. Money flows to those who are disciplined. It is the man who wakes when others sleep, who works when others play, who studies when others entertain themselves. That man is the one who commands the flow of money, because discipline is the bridge between internal desire and external wealth. Without it, the dream dies. With it, even the impossible becomes routine. The undisciplined man cannot be rich, not for long. If you do not control your habits will control your bank account. If you cannot delay gratification, you will never hold on to riches. Every dollar you earn is not just currency, it is a test, and if you fail the test, money leaves. If you pass, money stays. If you excel, money multiplies. That is the unspoken law of the wealthy. They are not more gifted than you. They are simply more consistent, more focused, more willing to do what others will not, for as long as it takes. Discipline is doing what must be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It is saying no when the world begs you to say yes. It is turning down the distraction, turning off the noise, tuning out the temptation, and turning inward, toward purpose. The rich are not accidental. They are intentional. They are not reactive. They are proactive. They do not ask, "How do I feel?" They ask, "What must I do?" And then they do it without apology, without delay, and without negotiation. If you master discipline, you will never be poor again, because discipline builds habits, and habits build wealth. Show me a man who keeps his word to himself, and I will show you a man who never fears money again. Self-discipline is self-respect, Every time you rise early, every time you finish the task, every time you stick to the plan, you are proving to yourself that you are worthy of abundance, and the world responds accordingly. Your bank account is a mirror. It reflects your habits, your routines, your thinking, your consistency. If the numbers are small, the behavior must be examined. You cannot change your financial life until you change your personal discipline. Success is not what you achieve in public. It is what you enforce in private. The hours when no one is watching, the days when quitting is easy, the weeks when results are not yet visible, those are the proving grounds. And those who endure them with discipline become masters of the money law. Do not look for shortcuts. Look for structure. Do not chase hacks. Build habits. Wealth built on hype collapses. Wealth built on discipline compounds. The man who respects time, honors commitment, invests his focus, and protects his mind, this is the man who the world pays, because discipline is rare. Most people live in reaction. They wake up late. They drift through the day. They hope success finds them, but the disciplined man creates success. He builds it brick by brick, choice by choice, hour by hour. Start with the little disciplines. Wake up on time. Stick to your schedule. Finish your commitments. Budget your money. Train your body. Read daily. Guard your thoughts. These small acts form the foundation of unstoppable wealth. Over time, discipline becomes your identity, and wealth follows those who can be trusted to carry it. Money is power, and power cannot be given to those who lack control. The law of money says, he who cannot govern himself will never govern wealth. Self-discipline is your passport to every level of success. And until it is mastered, nothing else matters, not your education, not your ambition, not your ideas. Without discipline, all potential rots in the soil. With it, even the smallest seed becomes a forest of riches. Train it like a soldier. Live it like a code. Let it become your weapon in the war against mediocrity, because in the end, it is not the strongest or the smartest who become rich. It is the most disciplined. 5. The law of exchange cannot be bypassed. The law of money is not based on miracles. It is based on exchange. You receive because you give. You earn because you serve. You are paid in direct proportion to the value you bring to the marketplace. Not someday, not maybe, every time without exception. The man who tries to bypass this law by begging, stealing, or pretending will find that money may visit him briefly, but it will never stay. But the man who understands that wealth is a reward, not a gift, builds a foundation that no recession can shake and no critic can destroy. Too many men chase money like it's hiding from them, but money is not hiding. It is circulating. It is constantly moving from one hand to another, one account to another, one business to another. The only question is, what are you giving in exchange for it? If your value is low, your income will be low. If your contribution is shallow, your reward will be small. Money is not unjust. It is precise. It is brutally honest. It pays those who produce, those who serve, those who solve problems, those who show up daily with something to offer. There are no loopholes in this law. You may envy the rich, resent the successful, or criticize those who have built empires, but make no mistake. They have exchanged something for what they have. Perhaps it was time. Perhaps it was pain. Perhaps it was decades of quiet preparation. But the transaction was made, and you must do the same. If you want more money, you must increase your value. If you want greater income, you must find greater ways to serve. The world does not care about your potential, it cares about your production. You may have ideas, but until those ideas are packaged and delivered as value to someone else, they are worthless in the economy of money. The man who multiplies his usefulness multiplies his wealth. The more people you help, the more lives you improve, the more needs you meet. The more money will come into your hands, not because you're lucky, but because you've honored the law. Do not wait to be discovered. Discover how to serve better. Do not hope to get rich quick. Get rich correctly. Create something. Fix something. Offer something. Be the person people think of when they need a solution. become so valuable that the market cannot ignore you, then money becomes inevitable. The river of wealth flows to the creators, the fixers, the doers, not the complainers, not the bystanders, not the wishers. You must build your economy by building your usefulness. No skill is too small, no service is too basic. Every great empire began with something simple that was done with excellence. Focus not on the end result, but on becoming indispensable. When people cannot imagine succeeding without you, money will never be far from your life. You must wake up each day asking, how can I increase what I offer? And not in desperation, but in excellence, raise the quality. Refine the process, reinvent your craft. Every increase in excellence is a direct investment into your financial future. There are no accidents in the realm of wealth. You are either obeying the law of exchange or you are not. Every moment you invest in learning, in practicing, in creating, in improving, that moment builds wealth. Every time you show up with more to give, more flows back to you. But those who give half effort receive half payment. Those who do the bare minimum earn the bare minimum. The law does not bend. It does not make exceptions. It honors those who give more than what is asked, who serve before being paid, who plant long before harvest is seen. You must fall in love with giving, fall in love with service, not because it's easy, but because it's the path. The wealthiest people are not obsessed with taking. They are obsessed with offering something so good, so needed, so powerful that the world responds with open wallets and lasting loyalty. Be that kind of person. Be the one who brings so much to the table that no one dares to remove your seat. Create, contribute, build, serve, and the money will chase you, not the other way around 6. Wealth is a reflection of inner order. There is no lasting external success without internal structure. You cannot organize your finances if your thoughts are scattered. You cannot build a profitable business if your emotions are undisciplined. You cannot rise to the top of any industry if your personal life is in chaos. Money, opportunity, relationships, success, all of it flows in alignment with the order of your mind, your habits, your spirit. Wealth is not the cause of order, it is the effect. Look at the man who is constantly late, constantly confused, constantly jumping from one idea to the next, and you'll find a man forever broke. Not because he lacks talent, not because he lacks ambition, but because the disorder within him pushes prosperity away. The universe cannot entrust wealth to the unorganized. It will not send opportunity to the chaotic. Before you can master money, you must master yourself. Clean your space, clean your thoughts, clean your language, eliminate the noise, eliminate the excuses, eliminate the mental clutter. Order must begin within before it is seen without. You cannot command the world if you cannot command your mind. If your room is a mess, your schedule is a lie, and your thinking is fogged, then your bank account will follow suit. Inner disorder creates external dysfunction, but inner structure creates outer wealth. The man who rises in silence, plans his day, honors his commitments, and governs his impulses. This is the man who draws success like metal to a magnet. It is not magic. It is maturity. Your wealth is waiting on your willingness to live with structure. A strong inner world repels weakness. It repels failure. It repels lack. And it does this not by force, but by alignment. You do not have to chase what is aligned. You simply attract it by becoming the kind of person who can manage it. When your life is in order, you stop leaking time. You stop leaking energy. You stop leaking opportunity. Every thought is sharper. Every decision is cleaner. Every hour is more productive. And as your inner life becomes organized, so does your business, your money, your relationships. Your ability to handle more increases, and with that capacity, more is given to you. The world rewards those who have built a house within that can handle the weight of success. You must examine your mind daily. Are your thoughts aligned with your goals, or are they drifting? You must examine your habits. Do they serve your future, or do they sabotage it? You must examine your surroundings. Do they reflect order, or are they breeding confusion? Every single area of your life is either helping you earn more or keeping you where you are. There is no neutral ground in the world of wealth. You are either rising or regressing, and it all begins with inner order. You do not need more opportunities. You need more structure. The man who cannot manage little will never manage much. If you cannot organize your day, how will you manage a business? If you cannot control your emotions, how will you lead others? If you cannot steward your time, how will you multiply your wealth? Structure breeds stability. Stability breeds trust, and trust brings with it responsibility, growth, and financial reward. The most powerful empires in the world are not chaotic. They are systemized, ritualized, ordered to the minute, planned to the detail. You must become a walking empire. Your day must run like a machine. Your focus must be sharp as a sword. Your character must be consistent, predictable in excellence, steady under pressure. That is how you earn wealth. That is how you maintain wealth. That is how you multiply wealth. So take control. Build your environment. Master your mornings. Lock in your routines. Clean the mental cobwebs. Fix what you've ignored. Rebuild what you've let go. Because every moment of chaos you allow is a moment of money you repel. Every ounce of disorder you tolerate internally becomes a block externally. You were never created to live in confusion. You were built to rule over it, and wealth is given not to those who want it, but to those who are prepared to manage it with clarity, calm, and control. Your finances will never rise higher than the level of order you maintain in your inner world. Become the master of structure, and the law of money will recognize you as a rightful heir to its rewards. Wealth is not a mystery reserved for the chosen few. It is a result, a consequence of mastering timeless principles that govern money. Desire backed by unshakable faith, enforced with relentless self-discipline, exchanged through valuable service, and built upon inner order, these are not theories, they are laws. Ignore them, and wealth will forever elude you. Honor them, and abundance becomes inevitable. True riches begin within the mind, are enforced by action, and sustained by personal integrity. If you dare to align your life with these principles, money will no longer be your pursuit. It will become your servant. The law never fails.